Hey, what's going on? This is Yunami from Yunami. Today we are going to show you Nozel's new power up, the Berserk suit. Also, only a small percentage of the people who watch our videos are actually subscribed, so if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. Please enjoy this video, let's go! Before we talk about Nozel, let's keep something straight first. In our last video we said we believe Gordon and Gray will join the fight against megicula. We didn't mention Nozel, but that doesn't mean that we don't believe that Nozel will fight megicula. The Spade Kingdom arc is very long and the battle against megicula is unlikely to peak anytime soon. We said Gordon and Gray will come to save Gaja from his fatal injury and Loropechka from a curse. We had a lot of feedback on this, and it was pretty surprising to us to see such a point of view. Many said that it makes absolutely no sense for Gordon or Gray to join the fight, because anything other than Nozel and Dorothy's sudden appearance in the fight against megicula would be completely pointless. But here's the thing, Nozel and Dorothy both entered the war with Nacht's rescue team, where we learned that each of them was assigned their own task. Charlotte and Rill both went straight to Vanica and Megicula to defeat them, and Nozel and Dorothy both went elsewhere, meaning they got their own mission. So why would Nozel suddenly join the battle against Megicula even though we haven't heard from him in about 30 chapters? Why didn't he join Charlotte and Rill in the fight against Megicula right away if he wasn't given any other task? The answer is because he actually has his own task, and is most likely somewhere else, together with Dorothy. We understand that you would like to see this beautiful moment between two siblings helping each other, fighting side by side against the devil who killed their mother. I would love to see this, but it's too early. Do you really think Megicula will already die in this fight? The chances of this are really slim. It's just a fight. It doesn't necessarily have to end up in Megicula's death. Especially now that we have found out that Megicula is a Clifford devil. Of course, I also believe that the battle between Noelle, Nozel and Megicula will take place, but not necessarily now. And especially not when Megicula has barely manifested herself in the human world. Megicula's personal advent ritual must first be completed so that Megicula can receive her full power, and only then is it reasonable to consider a life or death fight. And here's the problem, I don't believe that both Vanica and Loropechka will die, meaning Megicula won't achieve her full power yet. We will talk about this more in a moment. Megicula has often been featured as the main villain for Noelle. Defeating Megicula without giving her full power would be very disappointing. People will forever mention that the only reason Noelle won was because Megicula wasn't at 100% strength, and the only possible chance that Megicula will gain full power with her own advent ritual is, as mentioned, if Vanica and Loropechka die. But neither should die yet. Vanica's part in Black Clover is not done yet, because all three members of the Dark Triad have yet to realize that they have been betrayed by their devils, and then most likely join the fight against the devils. We know that we are probably the only ones who support this idea, but we stand by it. We have the feeling that the Dark Triad will not just die like that, but will do their part in the war. Apart from Vanica's death, the death of Loropechka is also required for Megicula to manifest fully. The fact that Loropechka is dying because of a curse gives Gordon the best opportunity to present his cure against all curses. So one of them, most likely both Loropechka and Vanica, will survive, and consequently Megicula will not be able to maintain her full strength yet, but will have to wait until her Clifford Gate is opened. Then, and only then, it makes sense for Noelle and Nozel to fight Megicula together. Of course, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. And I am more than confused why so many believe that it would be pointless for Gordon to join the fight against Megicula. How else will Loropechka survive? Gordon's family has a contract with Megicula for centuries that they want to get rid of. Gordon literally studied for 6 months to find a cure for all curses. Who else should he fight if not the master of all curses, Megicula? And that Gray, Gauche and Gordon are always together is no secret, so it makes sense that Gauche and Gray could join the fight against Megicula as well, especially considering that Gaja will die if Gray or someone else won't show up to heal his injuries. If Mimosa has learned the ultimate healing magic, this could be a solution, but the same applies here as with Nozel. Mimosa came to the Spade Kingdom with Noelle, and since Mimosa did not join the fight against Megicula, why should she suddenly appear out of nowhere? There's a lot more to do in the Spade Kingdom than fighting Megicula. The only reason why we think Gray will appear to save Gaja is because we are sure that Gordon will save Loropechka, and the team Gauche, Gordon and Gray is like a rule in Black Clover. These three characters usually always appear together. This is the only reason we think Gray will appear. Of course it could be Mimosa with ultimate healing magic, the Spade Resistance with their healing food, or anyone else capable of healing such an injury. We have seen Gray's ability right before the Spade Kingdom arc. This made us very curious about what her magic really is. All Black Bulls suddenly have new abilities, and the best way to present Gray's ability will be if she demonstrates her power. She has certainly been working non-stop for the last few days to master this technique, so we expect to see this again. I hope that explained our point of view a little better. But if Tabata finds a logical way to suddenly let Nozel take part in the fight against Megicula, it will be very exciting as we are all waiting for that fight. Now let's talk about Nozel's new power up, but before we continue, if you already like our content, please leave a like. With your support we can continue this channel. And if you are new, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Now we come to Nozel Silver and his new power up. Nozel, as the rival of Regolian Vermilion and the one who has set himself the goal of becoming the next Wizard King, must have become much stronger than 6 months ago when he could not even defeat an elf by himself, while his little sister protected the Silver family. This is not how a future Wizard King should appear. So far, Nozel hasn't really progressed in terms of strength throughout the series. It's safe to say that Noelle and even many other characters who have shown their power-ups in the Spade Kingdom have already surpassed him. I mean Nozel from the Elf Reincarnation arc 6 months ago. If Tabata continues to keep Nozel at the same level, it will not do him justice and certainly not make him strong enough to realistically portray the rivalry with Regolian and his dream of becoming the next Wizard King. To balance out all the recent power-ups from his fellow captains and little sister, Nozel needs a drastic power-up, and by drastic I literally mean a power-up that can make him maybe even stronger than any other Wizard King candidate. And Nozel has all the potential to make that happen. He is a royal and his mana potential is enormous, not to mention his perfect mana control. But all of this is also the reason why he has not improved so far. He was always blind by his royal status and never seemed to train much, just trusted his royal blood. With this behavior he could never go beyond his own limits. But with recent events, he must have surely changed his mind when he saw Noelle get so strong. He also saw Asta and Yunu grow so much stronger that he was forced to recognize both as potential threats to his goal of becoming the next Wizard King, to see how all these young magic knights can compete with his strength, as his real rival continues to rise with his new fire spirit. With all of this, Nozel simply has no choice but to train harder than ever before. We haven't seen anything from Nozel since the Elf Reincarnation arc. His whole development is a big mystery, and that's why Tabata keeps Nozel's true potential secret. I think Tabata is planning a huge reveal for Nozel Silva. We know that Nozel is the only one of Aesir's 4 children who has inherited a similar magical ability as his mother. And since Noelle and Aesir both share the same transformation, we can be sure that Nozel will receive a similar transformation as well. Obviously the Valkyrie dress is a female form, so he needs something that comes close to it. The male equivalent of Valkyrie is Berserk, and a good equivalent for a dress might be a suit. So a Berserker suit will be a great name for Nozel's new transformation. With this new transformation, he will most likely receive a physical boost as well as a weapon and the ability to fly, basically just like the Valkyrie dress. But we believe that the Valkyrie dress or the Berserk suit alone is not enough. Nozel will most likely show us a whole new transformation that will surpass anything Noelle has shown so far. Of course, we don't mean the same stage, as this is divine powers, and Noelle can only maintain this a very short time. I think it was like a minute or something. And let's face it, we all saw how impressed Nozel was to see Noelle so strong. Now we want Noelle to be impressed with how strong Nozel has become. Looking up to Nozel will be a great thing for Noelle and maybe open up the possibility for future training together. But where the hell could Nozel be right now? If his job has nothing to do with the Dark Triad, including the Demon God or the demons coming out of the Underworld Gate, the only option left is for Nozel and Dorothy to have the job of attacking the center, where the Clifford ritual is located. The fact that we haven't seen Lotus either suggests that he will most likely be the one who might face Nozel, and if the goal is the Clifford tree, Nozel will also face Morris along with a bunch of demons as well. It will be just very strange for us to see Nozel suddenly appear out of nowhere to fight Megicula. So we would love to see what he's been doing in the Spade Kingdom all the time. Let us know what you think. Will Nozel save Noelle or will it be someone else? Like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell. Have a wonderful day or night. See you next time. Bye.